Our firm represents some of the South's last best places, and stewards of these lands are America's true conservation heroes. From our famed quail plantations to high-quality working lands, landowners trust us to show their property's unique intrinsic value, monetize that value through a sale, and see to it that the next landowner will protect the legacy they've built. For over 30 years, we've served this specialized niche, becoming its ambassadors and building it into what it is today. We go beyond the role of a typical land broker. One of our differences is our popular short film series where we tell the land story and celebrate what the landowner has accomplished. Today's story begins in Holland, 4,500 miles from here, when 25 years ago a young couple set out from across the world to find the right Georgia property upon which to live out their dreams. It's been quite a life, and they've built an amazing place in one of the most unique areas of Georgia. Their property lies along a ridge strategically balanced between agriculture and timberland. Numerous spring-fed creeks form steep heads full of mature hardwoods, teeming with wildlife and beauty. The cabin is one of my favorite lakeside homes. You're going to enjoy hearing from Eric and Karen as they share their passion for the land and how it impacted their lives for the better. This is a special opportunity, and representing people in places like this is quite an honor. It's with great pleasure I welcome you to Magnolia Lane.
Eric Vonk, you're at our beautiful property, Magnolia Lane, and welcome here. This property is part of a larger property and is divided from the rest, so to speak, by a small paved road. It's been hard for us to decide whether or not to keep it as one property or maybe part with the smaller portion, a little less than 400 acres. And we've decided to concentrate on the larger portion of the property across the road. There's another 2,000 acres there, and see if we can find a good neighbor. It has everything you want from a property. There's an open hayfield, a Bermuda field of some 40 acres or so. There are very mature hardwoods. There are flat areas, but there are also areas that have a little bit of topography in it. But most importantly is water. What this property has a lot is water. It has natural springs where just hundreds and hundreds of gallons of beautiful water, rich in minerals, come out of the ground. And that has allowed us to form a pond, a 3 or 4 acre pond, right here at the house. And for the rest, there are a number of creeks running through the property. So you have it all. We have some planted pines, some open areas, some flat areas, some rolling topography, and hardwoods. It's all there. On the southeast side of the property, you have a fairly steep topography which has been formed over the centuries, or probably longer, by natural springs. This is where water from part of the Georgia aquifer system comes out of the ground and has carved these sort of mini canyons through an area with very big mature hardwoods. And just wandering through there and being under the canopy of these enormous trees, filtering the light, hearing the creeks run through there, is just a very special experience. I remember very well first coming back here, for the first visits, that there was this combination of a feeling of, hey, this is it. This is the property we've been looking for. And wanting to just explore, let the property talk to us instead of having an urge to change it or do anything with it. Just learn and understand. And so the first years we spent a lot of time just exploring, wandering around and getting to know it. And then, of course, there have been many years where we saw on a larger scale kind of landscaping possibilities where there were half overgrown areas that we cleared, and creating this balance between larger plants and trees and open areas. And you know, when you do that for 20 plus years, it is a very gratifying experience to see its shape fall into shape. What is interesting of the property is that it has been a place where people have chosen to live over the centuries, I would say. There are several older home sites, usually near creeks, that traverse the property. And you know, we've been blessed to, in that sequence over a very long period of time, call it home. It's a place that has reverence. The home is, the core of the home is a cabin that was here when we bought the property. And in the beginning we hardly considered to turn it into a home. But the bones are very good and the location is ideal, and it has a certain level of rusticity to it that provides tranquility and a sense of home, and with a style that fits the natural environment here. The beauty of this place is that it is remote. That brings with it that also access to stores and so forth is a little bit different than when you live in the core of a city. There is in the nearby city of Richland a grocery store. If you want to do some serious shopping, the nearest more urban environment is Americas, a good 20 miles from here. So it is a 20+ minute drive on a beautiful country road. Sometimes people say, well, you know, it takes you all the way. When we lived in Atlanta, it took us sometimes longer to get to a grocery store, you know, 2 miles away as the crow flies because of traffic. Here it's the same distance, but in a beautiful landscaped environment, agricultural, planted trees, hardwoods. And then, you know, there is to the north, a little bit farther away, 25 miles, Columbus, which is a larger regional town. South of us is Albany, a larger regional town. So within that triangle between the three cities, everything is there.
Trophy deer and turkey hunting is a passion of mine. While this property hasn't been hunted in over a generation, I can tell you this is one heck of a place. With just a few improvements, some feeders, some food plots, and some cover ideas that I'd love to share, this would be someone's dream hunting property.
The wildlife, there's an abundance of wildlife because this property has not only not been under any hunting pressure for as long as we've been here, which is now a quarter of a century almost. Sounds awful, but it's that long. But also the previous owners weren't hunting here. We've taken it one step further and really have started to pay a lot of attention to wildlife and turn it into more of a preserve, of a wildlife preserve.
Something too that they couldn't have predicted 25 years ago is the fact that in today's increasing chaotic world, people are seeking out properties just like this in preparation for the next pandemic, shutdown, or worse. We call these places social storm properties and first trademarked the term over a decade ago. When it comes to your friends and family being in a safe place, storing hard assets, and otherwise having a go-to place, this is exactly the kind of hard-to-find social storm property that people are actively seeking.
We have been blessed with our neighbors. We have two neighbors who are larger landowners, multi-generational farmers. And from day one that we were here, you know, immigrants from another country, from Holland, we were welcomed as, hey, you've chosen this as your new home. How can we take care of you? How can we help you? Good friends. The third larger neighbor is a timber company. So it is, what would you want more than the freedom and peace and not being disturbed, yet have very reliable go-to sources and resources just around you.
Karen shared one of the best descriptions I've ever heard of how land ownership feels when you're in sync with the property.
There is no difference between me as a person and the land. It's one. It is my identity, it's my personality, it's where I thrive, it's where I'm the most happy.
Karen comes from a long line of landowners from her home country of Holland. It's pretty special that she chose to continue that legacy in America through this property.
A lot of people ask me the question, do you feel safe? You're so far away from civilization. And my answer is always, I feel safer here than when I was living in Amsterdam, in a big city with people above and under and to the left and to the right of me. People that I didn't even know. Now my next door neighbor is 2 miles away, but when I am alone because my husband Eric is traveling, I feel totally safe because they are there. They check in with me, hey, how are you doing? And there is no crime in this area.
I asked if they had a favorite memory. If you've been following our series, you've seen this answer before. It shows how owning land can change one's life.
Favorite memory is probably one of the first, if not the very first visit, where Karen and I have been looking around for an opportunity to acquire land. And it's hard to describe what it was, but coming here, all of a sudden, yes, it was it. It came across as home and like no more questions to ask. This is it, it's beautiful. What brought us together is I think that I have a similar interest. To have a sense of independence, direct contact with nature, access to water, enjoy wildlife, be able to manicure and grow things, yet be within reach of the Atlanta airport, the busiest airport in the world. It's 2 hours north of here and can get you anywhere. Yet here you have all the tranquility and peace that you can possibly want as a private landowner. And then all of a sudden found out that this area way back when used to produce sugarcane. And that was an aha moment, because it has been a long-term dream of mine to grow sugarcane and make rum from it. That's been something that comes out of my family, and all of a sudden here is an opportunity in an environment and with a climate where it's possible to grow sugarcane and make rum. And that has led to the establishment of the Richland Distilling Company in 1999. So next year, 25 years ago, we grow our sugarcane on the other side of the property, make rum, distribute that in 15 states, and export that to 11 countries. The little Richland Distilling Company and Richland Rum have actually become a little brand. We're proud of that. It is because the rum is Georgia or local sunshine, dirt, rain, and that's it. Those are the ingredients. There are no additives of any kind, and it represents Georgia terroir as pure as you can possibly think.
My current passion, other than rum, is saving America's living legends, the wild horse, the Mustangs. Across the street we run a sanctuary for Mustangs, and our neighbor to the east is a Mustang trainer and has an equestrian facility.
The decision for us to sell this property hasn't come light. I would hope, and maybe we even have an opportunity to be a little bit selective, that the next owner is a steward of the land and has the same passion for what is going to be the host of the owner. It's beautiful, it's tranquil, it's balanced, it has everything one can want out of life. And I hope the new owner will try as much as we have to give back to the land as much as we have tried to give back to it. So when we decided that it might be better to find a new owner, we have thought a long time and had an opportunity to meet John Kohler, who has that same passion for land and knowledge of the area, knows what the values are and why they are there. That for us, being able to knock on John's door and ask him to see if he ever would be interested in representing us was an absolute natural. There's no equal.
It's truly an honor to represent land stewards like Eric and Karen. I hope you've enjoyed this inside look at Magnolia Lane. Don't forget, God created this world, but He gave mankind dominion over it. Being a land steward and sharing the outdoors with others is one of life's great blessings.